Hey guys, I'm Coach Jay with Pro Impact Recruiting. I am reaching back to you because you have sent me an email or reached out to me through social media with your Hudl video, and I appreciate that. I just want to give you a quick 10-minute video for you to get a quick look at recruiting, college football recruiting especially, and if you want to include a parent with you on this video, that would be great. I think it will be helpful for everybody to be on the same page. We are Pro Impact is a full-time sports marketing company. We help high school athletes with exposure, connection to coaches, development, and getting them scholarships. So we are one of the top companies that does this. We are located in Jacksonville, Florida. You can either come in and see us for a day, or we will do things over the phone, kind of based on your budget. But we are a company that works with about 50 to 100 football players per year. You can check out everything about us at proimpactsports.net and see our client base of kids that we're representing. We have sent players to the highest levels of college football. If you look on there, it is a who's list. We have kids going to Auburn, LSU, Rutgers, Stanford, Southern Cal, every school you can imagine. This is what we do. We do it better than anybody else. There is no comparison with the company based out of Chicago, where they talk to people on the phone with thousands and thousands of kids. There's no way that they can compete with us. We give individual attention. We work with each athlete one-on-one. We know our athletes. We know the parents. We know where they can play based on their skills and their academics, and we're very good at what we do. So what I want to do next is just kind of give you a quick look at the whole college football recruiting and what's involved with it. I think that a lot of people, because they grew up and they were a good athlete, they are told by their neighbors and by coaches and by friends and everybody else that they're a great player. And they continue to believe that they are super and that they can play at the college level. And for a lot of kids, they start getting letters from colleges, they start getting invited to camps, and they start getting a lot of information that makes them believe they're being recruited, when in actuality, the average school sends out 3,000 letters to recruit kids. So you got a lot of players that they believe they're getting recruited. They go to a lot of camps. They do all the normal things that people do, but they have some interaction with coaches, but nothing too serious. As they go into their senior year, nothing is really happening. There's a little bit here and there, but then when it comes to be signing day, they have no offers and they end up not playing college football. That is really the typical experience. There are more kids that experience that than there are kids that go and play. Here's the reason why. In your class, there are approximately 310,000 high school football players that are playing on Friday nights. That's just in your grade, one grade. So there's 310,000 kids out there playing. Of that 310,000, roughly top 20% believe that they can play college football. So you're talking about 60,000 kids competing for scholarships. Here's the problem. D1 has only 3,200 spots. So they're only taking the top 1%. So the next level is D1AA. They're another 3,200 spots. So you're talking about 6,400 spots, 60,000 kids trying to get 6,400 spots. So 10 kids for every one spot. That's a ton of competition. D2 takes the next 2.5%. Then you got D3 and NAIA. The majority of athletes that play on Saturday are paying partial scholarships. Their parents are paying for part of their scholarship. So the majority of kids out there playing are paying. The parents are paying for it. D1 is the whole industry is built around D1 football, which is only the top 1%. So let's talk about you. Let's talk about your chances. Here are the basic barometers. Here's the basic metrics to see if, where you're going to fit in the whole scheme of things. I know that everybody's telling you you're great, and I think that's awesome. That's a starting point. But here's how we measure it. Here's how, D1 coaches look at it. First thing is, are you talking to any college coaches? Not have you gotten an email, but are you talking to them? If their answer is no, then you're not in that top 1%. The next question is, have you been identified as a top player by Scout, Rivals, ESPN, 24/7? Are you, with a picture on their site with them identifying you as a top player? If not, you're not in that group. So next thing that we like to look at is Hudl views. How many Hudl views do you have? For most kids that are being recruited by a lot of coaches, their Hudl view number is pretty high. If your number is really low, nobody's looking at your Hudl views. That is one of the best indicators of coaches looking at you as a player. So if you're not in that group, let's look at what college coaches, who are they primarily recruiting? They like to start out with programs that are perennial powerhouses, schools that are winning and going to championships year in and year out. If you look on their rosters, that's the best place to start. You got top athletes competing against other top athletes. Athletes that are conditioned like that are great for college. Now, if you are not on a top program like that, it does not mean you will not be recruited, but it is you will not be recruited as highly as those guys. So, are you in that group? If you're not, then you need to understand you will not be recruited as heavily. Even on a team that's a 500 season, you just will not be recruited as heavily. Okay, so what else do we need to look at? We need to look at your academics. Are you a good student? And your grades, your core GPA is the best indicator of that. Have you taken the ACT or SAT? If you make good scores there, that's a pretty good indicator of what kind of student athlete you'll be. If you don't make good grades there, you cannot play college football. ACT and SAT are the best indicators of how well you will do in college. If you got low scores there, you will not do well in college. So, guys, here's the deal. There's a lot to this. We are, because of our having so many players, because of the way that we develop our players, we have a system built so that our guys get everything in order so that college coaches will look at them. College coaches come to us to find out who our players are. We evaluate our guys real early on and figure out what level they can play at, and then we push them on that level. I don't know that there's anybody else out there that does what we do on such a high level, but we're good at it. And if you are an athlete that thinks that you can do the things that we need you to do, then you need to send me your Hudl, tell me you're interested, tell me you want to talk on the phone. Our next step with you is to get you a questionnaire, and we will evaluate that questionnaire and determine if you're the kind of athlete we can work with. So I know that for a lot of you, this is kind of new because you're young and you haven't heard this kind of stuff before, but we like to shoot it straight. We will, with all our clients, we help them along, and we are paid for our services, and we do a very good job of getting our athletes looked at by coaches and getting scholarships. We have a 94% success rate, and for the kids that didn't succeed, it wasn't because of us. It was because of the athlete. So we set very high standards, very high bars. We know what it takes to make it at the next level. And if you are one of our clients, we will relay that information to you and help you along. So I appreciate you guys giving me some time. I just wanted to give you a quick look at recruiting, what we do, and if you think that you want us to represent you, to work for you, send me an email at coach@proimpactsports.us, and I'll be glad to take a look at your information, and we'll talk to you. So until next time, I'll see you on the ball field.